What it do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the Daily K Podcast. And on today's episode, we have Ms. Tashunda Joiner and Crissy Jones from Step Today Youth Outreach. Tashunda and Crissy is going to talk to the KTTV audience about the mission and vision of Step Today, some of the programs offered within Step Today, and how you and your daughter could be a part of these programs. Stay tuned. How y'all doing today, lady?
Doing great, thank you.
I want to thank y'all for taking the time out and come down to talk to the audience about all the good things that you are doing for young ladies and the empowerment of young ladies. And so I guess jumping right into things, whichever one of y'all want to start, just give me a little bit of background about yourself and the program that you're doing.
Well, hello everyone. As stated, I am Tashunda Joiner, and I founded Step Today Youth Community Development Outreach Center. STEP stands for Support Teens to Excel Productively. And that came about because I was a very young parent, and I fortunately had a support system. My mother surrounded me. It was rough initially. But because of certain people in my life, I made it through, and I wanted to make sure that my daughter did not fall into the same circumstances that I did as being a young parent and struggling. And so I know that education had always been in the forefront of my life, and I wanted to push her and encourage her to do better than I did. And so as far as education, that is like one of the key things that helped me continue to be successful. I am an educator. As stated before, I started off as a teacher, first grade teacher, second grade, fifth grade intervention. Then I moved on to counseling. And so counseling, when I became a counselor, I really focused on the emotional component of girls and how I could support them, because I did work at Hastings Ninth Grade Center in the Campus Learning Center program. And that was a prevention program for students to support them before they dropped out of school or were transferred over to the A.Leaf Learning Center, which is where I work today. Yes. So within that position, I started working with Yale mentoring program and another program called Texas Executive Women's. I was a mentor there, and I learned a lot from the young ladies who were offering that program on our campus. And from there, I birthed Good Girlz. And Good Girl stands for Graciously Overcoming Obstacles Daily. And my little branding or logo per se, if you see a good girl, you'll see a ladybug somewhere. So the ladybug represents my daughter. And with all the trials and tribulations that we go through, the ladybug is so beautiful. So the spots represent the obstacles, the things that we go through, the struggles, the little black dots on the ladybug. And I'm gonna get a little spiritual here, but we're all covered by the blood of Christ, and so the ladybug is covered by the blood, and so hence you see the beautiful ladybug. So that's where that came about, and on everything, I know she's an adult, but she will always be my ladybug. So that's where that comes from. And when I look at each and every girl that I work with, I see beauty. I see they may not see it, but I see it. It's and it's my job to change the mindset of a lot of our girls, to make sure they are living their best quality of life. And whatever they do not have, I try to pull it out of them. I believe every girl is gifted and talented in their own way. It just depends on who they are surrounded around and they have the positive influences.
Yes.
And so I try to be that one.
Okay.
I'm not saying that, every day will be great.
Mm-hmm.
However, we can make it great.
Okay.
We can rewrite the ending.
Yes.
The ending that we have in mind.
Yes. Okay.
And so
That's it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And so, Ms. Jones, before we move, if you can give us a little background about yourself and your program.
Okay, well, my name is Crissy Jones, and I am the founder of T.A.G, and T.A.G stands for the Arts Galore. T.A.G is an organization placed inside of Step Today as well as Girlz. The Arts Galore is basically a program that caters to integrated arts, so integrated arts as far as dance, music, performing arts, which is theater, graphic arts or visual arts. So I have a pretty extensive dance background. That's the baby of the company. And within just learning about dance over the years, I've grown to love and kind of care for the other arts.
Yes.
So I wanted to create a program that caters to all of the artists that are interested in any type of art. I feel that being an advocate for arts education is very important to push arts into the community because it's used as an outlet for kids as well as the mentoring program.
Yes.
Because they go through things day to day and get a daily routine just like us as adults. And even when I go to different arts museums and just partake and participate in anything that has to do with any type of art, it clears the mind and it's therapy for the soul. So I feel that, trying to push this program into the communities is a really great outlet and it's a step today.
I understand. I agree totally. The arts are very important. So with those, Step Today is the big umbrella. And so then under that we have Good Girls, we have T.A.G. Is there any other programs within inside of that?
There's a program called Right from the Heart.
Yes.
And Right from the Heart, I actually work with kids after school, and I help them channel their emotions and how they felt, and how to cope with them. And from the stories that they told me, we created poetry. And from the poetry, we had a poetry slam. The children were able to boost their grade, their English grade, and their communication application grades, working within the after school program. So it benefited both.
Just practice.
Yes. And so we did do improv 1-minute speeches. We did the poetry, and they were able to talk out what was going on with them in their life. And so, and here we are today.
Yes.
And so we do have some programming with Right from the Heart that's coming up. We have a function coming up April 11th.
Yes.
After we finish the Good Girls program, which starts February 4th, and it runs through March 31st.
Okay.
And then from there, the participants who are within the Good Girls program, they will be participating in our little mini play. It's called Brunch and Play. On April 11th, it's called Evolve, an evolution of love. And it tells you what starts off how we have that puppy love, and then it evolves into something else. But there's some icky stuff that goes on in relationships where people may grow apart and then maybe come back together. And so that's the story that we're trying to tell. We have a lot of kids who have a misconception of what love is, love and relationships as well. And so we want to share that. Love grows. Sometimes you grow out of love. Sometimes you fall back into love. And so those are some of the things that we want. In church we learn about the 3 types of love. We learn about the agape love, which is the God kind of love. The eros love, which is the erotic kind of love, the lustful love. And then we learn about the Leo love, the brotherly love. And so I try to teach them, what kind of love are you looking for? What is it? And so with an understanding of that, it kind of helps you navigate through life.
Okay.
And so April 11th.
Yes. And so then was the T.A.G program instrumental in creating the play? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so basically when the girls come and they do the Write from the Heart, they'll be writing poetry, and that's part of, one of the integrated arts inside of T.A.G, which is spoken word poetry. And they'll just be using what they write to turn it into a play or a skit or even a book. It can just evolve from there.
Yes.
And basically it'll also include dance. So even why we'll incorporate the poetry that they have, and then we'll incorporate some movement in that. And then even if we have one or two girls that are interested in singing, or anyone that comes along to in this mentoring program that has any kind of art background, we want to display that. And even if they come and they during one of the sessions and they want to maybe jot down some things or do some doodling and make some art, and they can come, and I wanted to teach them how to sell themselves. So people can make something on just a poster board or some kind of notice, and they can sell their art at the program. Just anything that kind of just makes them feel good about what they've done.
Okay. And how long have you all been doing the Step Today program, and which encompasses everything else? How long?
Well, about that.
It's burning, but it took a little break, but.
Yes. Okay, came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's hitting the ground running.
Yeah, so we Step Today came about in 2007. Okay, and I believe that I was before my time. We were before our time, because I always knew that my daughter would be a part of it.
Yes.
She's been a part of my support system, and where I get an idea, I'm writing it down and sharing it with her, or she'll have an idea and we'll kind of piggyback. So we're in a position now where we're ready to push through. We've been doing these pictures of her when she was in high school. I've been working with, I'll tell you how long. I had a student in my first grade class. She is now an adult.
Yes.
She lives in Atlanta, and we're still the best of friends. And these pictures where she's come over and we've gone to the store, and I just have a group of girls, and we did our own little mini field trip. No budget, just my money, my personal money, just pouring into them, teaching them life skills. So, it's been going on since 2007, and it just kind of spilled over into the church. We did do a Good Girls mentoring project at the Church of Bethel's Family, and that was in like 2009, and it was beautiful. It was a really great outcome. The way the program is designed is designed to teach girls holistically, and it's about awareness. Coming into y'all knowing who you are. So we teach them social awareness, emotional awareness, physical awareness, financial awareness, and spiritual awareness. Now, if I'm in a school, I do teach students about beliefs and values. So I don't use spirit, and we don't talk about God, but they know it's God all over. So I encourage them to just kind of learn about yourself. So the first class is an introduction class. Is when you meet everybody who you will be associated with. You'll learn how the program is ran, and then the very last day is feedback, and we have a match day where we match the mentors with the girls. And it's a 1-to-3 ratio. So the young ladies become a small group to one adult. And the adult is responsible for getting in touch with the young girls. Maybe about 30 minutes, just carve out of your life to do life with these young ladies. So And they can keep a journal, they can FaceTime, they can do so many things. Back then we just had cameras and we took pictures, but now we have, what are we on now? Podcasts and Facebook and Instagram and all these other avenues to connect with one another. So that's why we're here.
And so with it going and picking back up, I know you had some young ladies in, so talk to me about the changes you've seen, maybe from a young lady starting the program to ending, such as the lady in Atlanta.
So the young lady in Atlanta, she's first grade, built a relationship with her mom. They were not from Houston originally, so we continue to just build that bond and that relationship. She moved from Houston when she was about in the 9th grade. And so we found each other on Facebook. She is married and we talk about all the wonderful things that we've done. I have pictures and we kind of share, and she calls me auntie. No, she calls me mom. She calls me mom and she calls my children her brothers and her sisters. And it's just a beautiful thing to connect. I've also been in touch with some young ladies that I mentored in the 9th grade. They are now in college and they call me and they are doing wonderful things. And they'll be coming back to be a part of Good Girls. So my goal is they start off being dependent upon someone or something. And then my goal is to move them to become independent, to walk alone, and then interdependence. And so interdependence is where they start giving back, and that's what's happening now. So I'm running into young ladies. Oh, I want to be a part of that, and I also do summer camp, and that's how I connected with Girlz as well. So as we grow, we'll have our own camp. We'll eventually have our own girls' school. We're working on this young lady's safe house. I call it a safe house, where kids can come and do the dance and the arts and also do their homework, the education facility where it's just safe, where they can walk there after school and they'll have someone to help them grab a snack and just kind of relax and then go into their day.
So now coming to that, like you say, as we setting up, and let's say we have a young lady right now looking at this podcast, how does she sign up with you all, and what does that process look like?
She can definitely go on Eventbrite. We have Eventbrite right now. It's titled Good Girls. And the classes start on February 4th at 6701 Eastwood from 5:30 to 7. So all she basically needs to do is go sign up or show up. On February 4th is where you do all your paperwork. We're going to have food, fun, fellowship, get to know parents and young ladies. And there'll be mentors there. There'll be a pastor on hand if anybody needs prayer. There will be other people there that want to support. Anything would help. You know, if you want to be a part of, just come and sign up and see where you fit. Because we have so many components, I couldn't do everything. So I know that my passion and my desire is to work with kids emotionally, so that's what I do. My daughter is a dancer, she's into the arts, so she works with the physical awareness component. I have a young lady who is forever there in my corner. She is a banker, so she works with the financial awareness component.
So a lot of pieces of
there's a lot of pieces.
The whole
so every teacher is not committed to like one to be there every night. So whatever your goal is or whatever it is you want to teach, then you come on that night, and then you're required to come on the first night and the second night, the first night and the night that you teach, of course, and then the very last night, and that's when everybody gets to see each other again.
So we got the Good Girls program, and you said that'll be from February until April. Yes. And so then what's next after that? What's next for T.A.G? What's next for Step Today after that program?
Well, after that, my goal is to, I'm a big advocate for mental health awareness, and I would like to do a mental health awareness walk for youth.
Okay.
And my tentative date is May 16th, I believe. It's the second Saturday in May, because May is Youth Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
And the color is green, so I went to Alzheimer's Walk last year, and their colors are purple. And so I was like, okay, we can do this. We can do this for our youth. Because of where I work and the things that I do, there's a need out there, and a lot of our kids kind of get passed over but guess what? Those kids become adults.
Yes.
And so if we catch them at a young age and kind of work with them throughout, then we can get the support that we need so that they can be productive adults.
Okay.
And so that's my goal, is to raise awareness for that, and have a big community resource fair so parents can know where to take their children. And so that's one of the things that we'll be doing, and then we'll also move on to we're trying to get into the match.
Okay.
Her big production for T.A.G.
Yeah, as far as T.A.G, just starting off, I mean, I'm a dancer, so I'll start off with dancers. Anybody who loves to move and loves to dance. And I have different colleagues of mine that are in school with me that are learning about theater and acting. So I have a team behind me as well. And to start off, I was just wanting to maybe go inside of like little recreation facilities, or maybe like lounges, art lounges, just so artists can display their art. If they want to do poetry, if they want to dance, and people would come and they can come and view it. They can come and just have a night out. Like people go to poetry lounges and they see poetry, but I want them to come and get a feel for all of the arts, kind of like a production, and that would be starting off, and then. The huge production will eventually be some form of a play, or some form of someone's life story. Like if we were able to pick and choose from from the heart, and if anyone wants to share their story and is comfortable with their story being put out there on the platform, we would create a production based on their story. So it'll be a play or performing art based on their story that would incorporate spoken word and dance. And music, because majority of the time when you go to plays, you just hear the singing part. But as far as integrated arts, I would want to broaden the horizons, and it's not just singing. It's all the arts.
Okay. So with everything you got going on, I know that takes support, it takes the team, and it takes money. So right now, for anybody looking at this, how do they support you all? Like, what all do you need as far as support?
Always open to donations. But just people coming and showing up, and if other people see that you have a team of supporters behind you that want to be a part of it, and different people that pull different people in, it's like a chain. So people know people that know people that are willing to donate, give money, and I'm at U of H right now. I'm a student at U of H. We learn how to write grants and different things like that. So I would try to start practicing that just to see how we can get money from that and show how we can bring in other revenue, because that's what you have to do when you write a grant. You have to prove how you're able to bring in other revenue. So just anything in that space.
Okay.
So our goal is to eventually have a development youth center. I know that I've been around a lot of women who do a lot of conferences for girls, and that's in the works as well. But when you leave a conference, what happens after that? So the big picture is to have an emergency shelter for our girls. Once they tell you their story or what's going on with them, what are the resources that are out there? Our Step Today will be a resource center. The emergency shelter that is definitely in the works. A facility that encompasses the recreational center and a library, a cafeteria. So eventually it'll be a school.
Yes.
And so we are taking very little baby steps in order to reach those goals. So building a database, building supporters, building our youth up, it takes a village. And so the snacks, we can get the snacks.
Yes.
But if you want to donate snacks and water and juice and things of that nature, that's awesome. You can start there. All of that is great. However, we do have a rather large vision that we're dealing with, and sometimes it's intimidating to share it. And so the mentoring piece is to draw people in. And so once we start working with these girls, we find out that they have real issues, and how do we help or go beyond just, okay, sweetie, call me when you need, okay, so I needed more. When I was a teen parent, I needed housing. I needed somewhere to go. My dad was not too happy about my situation, so yeah, I had to find places to go. And so learning that and understanding that process, that's what kind of fueled this engine. And so I want to do more than just do a girls' conference and send them on their way.
Yes.
So my challenge is, women who do things for us, we also have young girls who need things.
Yes.
They need clothes. They need to learn how to walk in a church and have the appropriate attire.
Yes.
That's why we have the social piece. They need to know that. So while we hallelujah on Sunday morning, they're not going to church. They're not getting up going. So step today is like, okay, we're here. This is a safe haven for you. Let's figure out what you need and let's go from there. And so that's why it's important for us to kind of start connecting the dots, networking, getting supporters, so that we can walk in this purpose of getting our girls back.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Coming from my mom was a teen parent. She had me when she was 15, and so then a lot of those struggles, I still remember of needing that place to go. What happens when nobody's happy with that situation, and you gotta leave or something. And then what do you do? And so I understand totally where you come from. I empathize with it. That sounds awesome. So then, as we wrap this up, please, one at a time, what would be one of the most important messages that you try to impact or leave on every girl that comes through the T.A.G program, the Step Today program, the Good Girls program, the Right program? Anybody that touches that, what is the message that you try to leave on them?
That we're genuine, this is as real as it gets. We're here to support, we're here to love on people, love them through whatever that situation is, make an impact. I absolutely love connecting with people. I love hearing other ideas, and so I learn from that. And so everything that I learn, I try to pour into them. And so I want young girls to know that life is good. God is good. Even though we go through trials and tribulations and rejections and pain, God is still good and He is amazing. And you just walk through whatever it is He put before you, because He built us and created us in His image. And we can make it. And I dare not say, oh, I'm sad today. Oh, God did this. God is awesome. He is amazing, and He is teaching us day after day. He uses people, places, and things to teach us and mold us into what He desires us to be. Find your purpose. Find what it is that you are great at and do it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, same thing, piggybacking off Good Girls. And as far as T.A.G, coming into that program, I would just encourage young girls to, yes, find their purpose. And you can always, coming from my experience, I would share my story just to kind of meet them where they are and get them to understand that they can graciously overcome obstacles daily by finding who they are and finding their niche within anything that you love to do, whether it's any kind of art. I found my niche through dance. Even when I was out there, living my life, and God was still near all the time, but I held on to something that was worth holding on to keep myself, to keep my sanity, and that was dance. So every young girl, when I meet young girls, what is it that you like to do? And it's always something, and that's something that's important that you hold on to.
Yes. Okay, sounds good. All right, well, one last time, could you all give them all the contact information that y'all got?
Okay. Well, as far as T.A.G, there's you can email T.A.G, the Arts Galore at gmail.com. So it's the Arts Galore at gmail.com. And then on Facebook, it's labeled a page labeled T.A.G. So it'll have the acronym T.A.G, and then next to it, it'll have the Arts Galore.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. As for me, there is a page on Facebook, Step Today.
Yes.
And my name, there's a page under Tashunda Joiner, and I usually post things in Step Today and then just share it. So you can go under my name, Tashunda Joiner, or Step Today. What is it? YCDOC. So you'll see those letters, or you can. My email, and that's tashunda.joiner@gmail.com. So I am still in the works. You guys, this is just an exciting time for us. So just be looking out on Facebook. I'm on Facebook all the time. I cannot sleep because I'm so motivated and energized to do what God has told me to go do. Like, go do it.
We're definitely looking for supporters, because this is something that was birthed a long time ago, but it's really something that's really big that we're trying to impact the community. So it's better to be a part of something in the beginning so you can see it flourish.
Be a part of that.
And so we are in South Park. That's Southeast Houston. If you guys know anything about Houston, I grew up in South Park. I am a South Parkian. And so we do a lot of work in that area at Edgewood Park with Bishop C.D. Bolden. He is a huge supporter of Step Today and Good Girls. And so our goal is to start the programs there and build out there from the ground up. But Bishop Bolden is allowing us to come into his church on Tuesday nights to teach these programs. And so that's one of our supporters. So thank you, Bishop Bolden, for that. He's not on Facebook or anything like that. So there you have it, 6701 Eastwood, starting February 4th. Be there, go on Eventbrite, register, or just show up. Yeah, 5:30 to 7.
All right, I think that will do it. Anything else? Any last words? Anything for me?
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we look forward to seeing you.
Yes, thank y'all. Okay, that will do it for us. Once again, I want to thank Ms. Joiner and Ms. Jones for stopping by and giving some of that good information to the KTTV audience. This is KT, KTTV signing out. 100.